Hello everybody and welcome to the 2013 Kia World Extreme Games right here from Shanghai, China. It's a fun-filled day as we have plenty of competition coming your way. The crowd's starting to come in. Thousands upon thousands of people coming into the stadium, and they are going to be treated today here in Shanghai, China, as we welcome you to the inaugural 2013 Kia World Extreme Games. You can keep up with that guy, but also we've got plenty of people that you're going to want to see today. It's going to be a lot of fun. The kids, the future of the sport, they are here. Once again, everybody, welcome to Shanghai, China. I'm Paul Higgins, and we've got a lot going your way today here at the Kia World Extreme Games. Let's take a look at what we have in store for you today here in Shanghai, China. We've got the Skateboard MiniMega Final. 10 riders going to go at that ramp. It's going to be very exciting. And then a little bit later on, we go over to the vert ramp for the inline vert final. And that's always a great and exciting contest to have. But right now, here we are as the crowd has filled in around the Skateboard MiniMega ramp. Hi everybody, I'm Paul Higgins, and welcome alongside defending gold medalists and countless titles throughout the skateboard world, Pierre-Luc Gagnon. And PLG, welcome to the Kia World Extreme Games. Thanks so much for joining us today. We've got 10 great riders that we're going to be talking about on the Skateboard MiniMega Final, and one reason why you're not up there as opposed to be sitting in this chair, you're a little hurt right now. Then here's a look at our 10 riders coming in, and some outstanding riders. Around the world, a lot of people will go right to number 9, Andy McDonald, because he's done so much in the World Extreme Games.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. There's a lot of new talent out there. You know, actually, Jimmy Wilkins has never skated MiniMega ramp before. That's his first time skating MiniMega. Andy Max, a veteran, he's going to be doing good today. I know he's got some good runs, and Marcelo Bastos actually made a lot of progress with his skating. So we're going to be seeing a lot from him today.
And a great crowd on hand. We just got word that Ferris Rahman had to scratch, and they go through about an hour's worth of practice, and I had an opportunity to go over to practice and watch the guys warm up. And I tell you what, it is daunting because you do and you can get hurt in practice.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Ferris definitely has a pretty wild style, and he's not too experienced on a MiniMega, so you know, he probably just pushed it a little too hard and ended up hurting himself.
This is how it breaks down the Skateboard MiniMega Final. 10 athletes compete. They'll get 6 runs each, and the highest score wins. It's pretty simple. And this event has gone down several times to the last run of the day. And there's some new names that obviously that the world of skateboarding, the guys that do this and that follow the sport know very well, but there's some new guys coming up. It's always changing.
Yeah, definitely. Jimmy Wilkins skating MiniMega ramp for the first time this weekend. You know, last year no one knew who he was, and you know, I expect him to skate really well. He did great earlier today in the vert prelims, and here goes UC with the front 3. You know, UC's not skating MiniMega ramp too often, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be going for a frontside 360 to backside air first, and I'm sure he's going to step it up to the 540 later on in the contest if he lands that.
So Wilkins comes in, and he will be the next skater to go in.
So Jimmy's got an awesome style. He's probably one of my favorite up-and-coming skater. You know, I know he's going to be doing 360s over the gap. He's been doing that pretty consistently the past couple days, and I'm not sure if he's going for a 540 on the quarter, but we're about to see.
And here we go. Our second skater in clears the first.
Just kickflip melon. Popped out a little bit too far. You know, the MiniMega ramp's different from vert. You're coming out the quarter pipe with a lot more speed, so sometimes it's way harder to control flip tricks. You end up like popping a little bit too hard and landing like pretty far down the quarter pipe.
Nolan Monroe is next, and of course they get 6 runs. The highest score wins, and UC got a 1.33. Wilkins a 35. There we go. That, of course, that score on the left might be corrected there, but Wilkins for his best run, 35. Monroe getting ready to go in. You know, I've gone up there, and it's a mini mega ramp, but for someone that's never done this, it's still pretty darn
It's still pretty big. The gap's 30 feet long, and Nolan's super fun to watch. He's just one of those guys that goes for it with that big 540. He's just always like pushing, trying to go higher. You know, he also skates the full-size mega ramp, but you know, he's been doing great in practice out here on Mini Mega. Too bad he bailed his first 540, but I'm sure he's going to be landing that pretty quick.
PLG, I've often talked about it and commented on your runs hundreds of times, but when you skate contests, is it very important for you to know what the judges are looking for as opposed to just going out there and doing your own thing?
I mean, I think skateboarding's about being creative, original, and definitely doing your own thing, but you need to have some sort of, you know, calculated approach, and sometimes it's better if you plan it out right to where you build up your run from, like, let's say a safe run to a little bit of a harder run later on in the contest, because the judges will always score you higher, you know, down the line versus right off the bat on your first run. So sometimes there's no point pulling your hardest run right there on the first try. You know, I'd rather just like play it safe, you know, get my groove, get my rhythm, and then later on in the contest, then really try to step it up. And my score's going to be better anyways if I do that, you know, in the you know, later runs.
So you're listening from a true professional PLC.
Marcelo, frontside 3, and he's going for the Indy 5. Hasn't been doing that at all in practice, and just nailed it first try, so that's pretty awesome. Marcelo's been, you know, I'd say he had like immigration problems. He was stuck in Brazil for a few years and couldn't come to the States, so that's why we haven't seen him for a few years. But he's been in California for about a year now, and he's made so much progress. It's great to see. You know, I'm really happy for him.
Not a bad place to be stuck in, right? Great scene there too for skateboarding.
Yeah, for sure.
So Rob Lorfus comes in, and
Rob's going with ollie over the gap, no-handed.
Which is extremely difficult.
Keeping it safe for the Stalefish, but wasn't quite able to pull it. I know later on after he makes that safe run, I'm pretty sure he's going to be going for the kickflip Stalefish. But you know, like I said, most of those guys are just trying to keep it safe and get a decent score on the board, and then step it up from there.
And the thing about this Skateboard Mini Mega final is that you do get exhausted. I mean, you're skating, but then you got to walk up.
I mean, you got to remember, yeah, it's like you're walking up probably like 4 or 5 stories every run you take. It's 6 runs, and then you're probably practicing for like 2 hours before the actual contest. Denny Mayer had a pretty insane fall in South Africa last year. He was skating on a hurt foot and did the gap, and he was leaning back too much when he went up the quarter and pretty much did a full backflip and landed on his head. He knocked himself out, cut his head really bad. He was out for about five minutes, I'd say. So it was really tough mentally for him to commit to skating Mini Mega and just actually stay on his board and go and hit the quarter pipe. So right now he's just trying to rebuild confidence and stay on his board.
Well, Marcelo is our current leader. Bastos has 75.33. Adam Taylor getting ready to drop in.
Adam Taylor's been doing great in practice. Frontside barrel 3, which is pretty cool. He's going for the backside 5. Super clean. That was a great run from Adam Taylor.
And PLG, that should be the best score of the day so far.
Definitely, without a doubt.
Adam Taylor nailing both ramps, and you got to do both of them. You got to pull off one trick consecutively into the next.
Sure. Well, yeah, that's a great start for Adam Taylor.
Andy McDonald, we're all familiar with Andy over the years, and of course he has won his fair share of medals and competed alongside you on the deck many, many times.
Yep.
For many more years to come.
Yeah, for sure. Andy's 40 now, and he's not really slowing down. I think he's going to be going off the jump fakie, so he's rolling in backwards, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be going for a fakie 540 over the gap. But I have no clue what he's about to try on the quarter after he lands that.
So he's going in reverse of what he actually would be.
Yeah, fakie 540. Couldn't quite get the grab, but he'll be making that pretty quick. I've seen him do it before.
Do you see Andy's approach to skateboarding change at all over the years, the last couple of years?
I mean, Andy is super consistent. You know, like he always really impresses me with how many runs he can pull and how he can stay on his board. And he's really good under pressure, you know, so that doesn't change. But, you know, you definitely skate everything from vert to bowls to mini mega ramp. I think it's awesome that he's 40 years old and still doing it.
Amazing, and he kind of looks like Bob Burnquist, but he's not. Ronaldo Gomez as he drops in.
He looks like a 90s Bob Burnquist.
Yes, he does.
360 all over the gap, and couldn't quite get the grab on the Stalefish 540. But, it's a pretty cool run.
So now we go back up to the top, and UC will go back up to his first run that he fell on. So now he'll start his second run. So now we are into the groove here as we get into the second run. They get 6 runs in all. The highest overall score wins. So
yep.
the guy can basically, win it on the last run.
Definitely. So yeah, as soon as those guys get a solid score, and usually they really try to step it up from there. So UC's going for the frontside 3.
Oh.
Almost makes it. Kind of like cased the knuckle up there and ended up over rotating.
You get a little bit anxious, say for instance you don't make 2 or 3, 4 runs around that 5th run. You're starting to get a little anxious, aren't you?
Yeah, it can definitely you can definitely get into your own head and get insecure. So that's why I said it's really good to start kind of slow and build confidence and build your rhythm and step it up from there. Because as you're landing a lot of runs, then you start feeling good, having a good time, and it's way easier to land a really hard run. So perfect backside 3 for Jimmy. He goes for the kick the melon. Same thing again, just pulled out a little bit too far. He's coming pretty hot on the quarter pipe and just ends up like ollieing a little too hard on the kickflip melon.
He would have, if he held on to that, he would have
probably landed like
bottom.
halfway down the ramp. Yeah, and you didn't want to chance it. Sometimes the impact's so hard that you end up getting wheel bite and slamming pretty hard.
So Nolan Monroe will get ready to go. Again, Wilkins is in replace of Ferris Rahman as he had to scratch. Monroe fell on his first run. Here he goes on his second run.
Backside 3. The booster 540.
And
twist.
Just a little bit too far back.
That.
When you're doing that 540, where are you spotting your landing? Are you looking at the coping or beyond it?
The 5 he does, he's flipping it a lot, which looks really cool. But you just want to take off and look over your shoulder and spot the landing as soon as you can, and keep looking at your landing until you're pretty much right away. And as soon as you spot it, that's when you know most of the time if you're going to be hanging up, landing perfect, or landing too low down the transition.
And Rubia getting ready to go, and he fell in his first run. Let's wish him luck here.
Backside move 3. So that backside 5.
And he pulls it off.
Yeah, that was a nice run.
That will be a good score for him as he nailed both tricks. And you see where Bastos will go in just a moment. He has a 75.33. We'll see if that score we just saw. Okay, so we'll be back with the 10th rider in heat number 2. Much more to come from the Kia World Extreme Games from Shanghai, China. We'll be back right after this. Everybody, and welcome back to the Kia World Extreme Games, Yangpu District here in Shanghai, China. It's a great place to come and just tour around the city. So many different things that you can go and check out, and there's some great skate spots too. And of course, the Yangpu District has expanded over the last several years. Shopping has been enhanced, and if you're not shopping, you're here at the Kia World Extreme Games for the Skateboard MiniMega Final. I'm Paul Higgins along with Pierre-Luc Gagnon. And he wants to be known now a little bit as PLG. Gets a little bit hard on you explaining your name.
Yeah, no, I've been rolling with PLG for a few years now. It's keeping it simple.
Keeping it simple.
Marcelo, Indy 3 came up a little bit short. So I really thought he was going to go for the varial flip Indy 3, but I guess he didn't feel too confident going for it in practice, so he just kept it safe. But I don't think he should have, because he ended up falling on the safe trick.
Rob Lorfis getting ready to go.
We got Rob Lorfis. Looks like he's gained a few pounds since last time we saw him.
It's all those. it's all those pads he has on.
Stalefish.
Oh,
staying on.
Yeah.
That was real clean. Nice safe run for Rob. So finally got a full pull and a score on the board.
And we'll bring you up to date on the scores as soon as we get them and start putting them into the screen for you. Of course, this is a contest that all you have to do is get the best score in any single run. It could happen right now.
For sure. So Danny Mayer, so first time skating mini mega ramp since you know, the big accident he had in South Africa. And as you can see, he's not too confident. He's not feeling too good, but you know, it's just good to see him out there trying to skate and actually overcome the fear of you know, what happened.
PLG, I appreciate your honesty. I mean, you're telling this like it should be told. You're bringing us inside these guys' world. And, and you mentioned, you know, Mayer, hey, he's got that thing in his head right now.
I mean, that fall he took was pretty serious. I mean, you know, some of the riders were there, like, watching him passed out on the ground, like, people were crying. And then we had to compete, like, 15 minutes after that happened. So it was really tough for us mentally to compete after you know, after seeing a puddle of blood on the flat bottom of the ramp. And then we're there, like, in the middle of nowhere in South Africa, and we don't know if Danny's going to be okay. So it was really tough, like, mentally for everyone. And I can't imagine, you know, how it feels for him to come back and skate mini mega ramp after that happened.
So Andy McDonald getting ready to go, and he did not complete his full run, so he doesn't have a score yet really to be proud of.
So
but
there
he will.
he's definitely changing his strategy going forward. So going from the frontside 180 varial into 720.
Oh.
Almost. That was pretty close, but definitely a lot faster than on the vert ramp, so he's going to have to adjust a little bit and get used to the speed going fakie up the quarter pipe for the 720, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to complete that.
Ronaldo Gomez getting ready. He fell on his first time, and he has a score of 38.67 because he fell on the second ramp, big quarter.
Yep.
And he's getting ready to drop in. And the wind, there really isn't a bunch of wind going on, which is good.
No, the weather's perfect right now. Perfect backside 360 ollie to a Stealthfish 540.
There you go.
Real nice.
So that will definitely help.
That was a great full pull for Ronnie Gomez.
So Gomez is pretty excited about that because there hasn't been a lot of runs completed. And as we get further into this, you will see how things will change. So that completes the first two runs. UC Kohoran getting ready to go.
So UC's going to try to land that frontside 360 for the first time. He's been doing it in practice, so I think he just needs to go a little bit faster and make sure he clears the knuckle and lands down the landing instead of on top of the platform.
And you can see he is well covered in protection.
He's definitely using hip pads, gloves, elbows. I even think he's wearing a chest protector.
He's got armor all over, which is all right.
Oh, almost.
He tilted back a little
bit in the back seat. Was, you know, on his back wheels down the landing. So I don't think he could quite like lean forward.
That would be pretty amazing if you can do a rear manual down that.
Yeah.
That would be a development of a trick
Some sort of mega ramp day one song.
So we have Wilkins getting ready to come in, and he entered this contest because, as we mentioned, Ferris Rahman had to bow out.
I'm surprised that Ferris was in the contest before Jimmy.
Yeah.
So Jimmy's going for the kickflip melon. Perfect.
So Jimmy makes his run, and good for him, Jimmy Wilkins. So we'll see what kind of score he gets out of that. Moving right into Nolan Monroe. And Monroe has a score of 35. Again, this is the start of our third run. They get 6 runs in all. There are 10 skaters, and the top overall score wins the gold medal. How many gold medals do you have now and everything?
As far as X Games, I have 8, but total, I have no clue, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I can imagine.
So Nolan with a booster 540.
No, just a little bit too far.
I'm actually pretty surprised he hasn't made that yet, because he's been, I think he's just losing his rhythm, having to wait so much in between runs, because in practice, you know, I saw him yesterday, he pulled 3 of them in a row.
So he fell on the end of that.
Sometimes what happens when you're skating the contest, you have to wait for TV, and then there's going to be like problems with the judges, like we just saw. And you're up there waiting, and then you start overthinking stuff, and you know, you just, it's really hard to find a rhythm and feel comfortable. You just end up getting cold. So kickflip Stealthfish 360. That would be a pretty cool trick if you can actually make. He almost had it there.
Yeah, he did. That was pretty amazing if he was going to nail that thing. And then he does have a score, though, of 78.33, which puts him in first place right now. Actually, no, I think there's a better score coming up that we'll see here in a second. And so we'll move into Marcelo.
So I'm surprised that Jimmy's ahead of Marcelo, because Marcelo did Indy 540 on the quarter, and he's got a 75. But you remember what I said earlier is that later on in the contest, judges start scoring higher. And I think Marcelo's run was harder than Jimmy's, but Jimmy's got a 78. So Marcelo's going to put the frontside 3, the kickflip frontside there. To be honest, if I was him, I would just redo the same run he's done earlier a second time. Maybe just try to do it a little bit cleaner, a little bit higher, just to get a better score, because I think that he got misscored for the run he's done.
Rob getting ready to go in. He has a 60.67.
So Rob definitely needs to step it up on the quarter, because just a plain stealthfish definitely not going to cut it. So he needs to, start flipping his board or spinning a little bit. So tail grab 360 over the gap. It was a little bit slow on the spin.
So Rob Lorfis will hang his hat right now at the moment for a 60.67. And then we'll go right into Danny Mayer, who's fallen a couple times, looking for a solid score here and maybe the high 60s.
I think at this point, Danny's just trying to do like a straight air over the jump to method on the quarter pipe.
There you go. Oh. On something like that, it's...
To be honest, sometimes it's easier to spin over the gap than it is to go straight, because when you're spinning, you're doing something, you're rotating. When you're just going straight, you just end up getting stuck in the same position for like a pretty long distance, and it's just kind of hard to keep your balance when you're spinning. It just feels easier, it feels better, and you get a higher score. So most of the time I'll just do a 360 over just like a straight air, and it feels easier for me to do a mute 3 than just like a straight in the end.
It makes total sense what you're saying too. It really does. Taylor goes.
Barrel flipping wow. 3.
I didn't think he was going to make that.
To the barrel 5. Wow.
Trying to
I think Adam should have just played it safe and done a regular 540 on the quarter, but he's really going for it. You can't really blame him for that. But that barrel flipping 3 to a regular 5 would have put him in first place for sure.
Yep.
Oh, he's still in first place anyways.
Yeah, Adam Taylor, 81.33. That could change right here with Andy Mack.
Yeah.
Andy McDonald has not made a complete run yet. But again, 40 years old, as Pierre mentioned. He's been doing this a long time. Can't believe I've covered him now for 20 years.
Yep.
That's amazing. There he goes. He's going to nail this one.
Oh, perfect 720.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's definitely going to put Andy in first place.
So he nails the 720, and it can change just like that. And the crowd acknowledges. And Andy does a great job. And Pierre, you do that as well. You acknowledge the crowd. They come out and they support skateboarding. And without the supporters, we might not be here.
For sure. It wouldn't be possible to make a living out of skating without like all of our fans in the crowd. So, it's definitely good to show appreciation. So frontside 180, and I know Ronnie's going for the 722. Couldn't quite get the grab on that 7. Like I said, it's kind of challenging managing the speed on 720 sometimes on the MiniMega ramp. But, I know those guys didn't really want to try it in practice. Sometimes they're just holding off and waiting for the contest to really go for it.
Well, our score right now to beat is 86.33. That's Andy McDonald. He fell in his first couple runs, but that has all changed. 3 runs are in the book. We'll be back more of the Skateboard X MiniMega final. We'll have that after this. Hello everybody and welcome back to Shanghai, China and the inaugural Kia World Extreme Games. We want to thank our broadcast partner, SMG. Couldn't do it without them. Shanghai, beautiful city at night, and as night comes today, we go back into the stadium, but what a magnificent city. If you've never been here, put it on your things to do list. Hi everybody and welcome back to the Kia World Extreme Games here in Shanghai, China. The crowd continues to look on as we are halfway through the Skateboard MiniMega final. This is the leaderboard as it stands right now. Andy McDonald just scored an 86.33. Adam Taylor in second place, and in the bronze Italo Penarubia from Brazil with a 78.33. So PLG, that kind of helps paint the picture right there.
For sure.
And again, as you mentioned, and we talked about it, it's any run can win it, and we've got 3 more heats to go.
Yeah,
basically.
it only takes 1 run. I know that Marcelo has a couple good tricks in his bag that that could put him in the top 3. Adam Taylor came really close from landing a full pull. That would have probably put him in first place. But you know, Andy had a great frontside 180 slot varial to 720.
Yep.
And the judges are definitely right on point.
So here we go, and this is UC Cahoran.
Frontside 3 to plain method on the quarter, but you know, UC doesn't skate MiniMega too often, and you know, I'm happy he pulled a run.
Well, you know, you mentioned it. There's only one major ramp like this in the United States, and that's on the East Coast.
Yes.
Most of these guys live in the United States.
Yeah, UC actually lives in England. He's from Finland, so
that's even
you know,
harder.
he comes out, stays with me like a few times a year, and I take him to the private ramp. You know, I have a private ramp with Monster Energy Drink, but it's just a vert ramp. But as far as MiniMega, yeah, the only place of practice is at Woodward Skate Camp on the East Coast.
It's amazing. So Wilkins gets in. He's at 78 right now. We're waiting on
backside 3.
UC score, as it will drop in a second.
And he's going for the kickflip frontside lean air. He was trying that yesterday in practice. Came pretty close, but I haven't seen him made it yet. So that'd be pretty cool if he could pull that today in the contest.
So UC Cahoran gets a 60.33. Wilkins is our next skater. Actually just went, pardon me. Now we moved to Monroe.
So hopefully Nolan pulls that big McTwist on the quarter pipe. Can't believe he hasn't made it yet. That should be pretty textbook for him. But he's definitely trying to go big. He's going bigger than anyone else out there.
Just got compressed, huh?
I think he's just hanging up a little bit, so he has to squat to fit it in. And when he, you know, gets to the bottom of the transition and is trying to get up, he ends up like falling in the back seat. So he just needs to snap a little bit harder on the takeoff to, you know, lands a little bit further down the transition.
Italo Penarubia, he fell his first time. His second run, he got a 78.33. He's coming off a fall. Let's see what he can do here.
Kickflip Stell 360. That's a pretty awesome trick over the gap. That's one of the best tricks we're going to see today. You know, the only trick that's better than that I've seen today in the contest was Adam Taylor with a varial flip in 3. But that's definitely up there, you know, in the top 2 tricks over the gap as far as today.
Basto 75.33, and this guy can win it in a heartbeat. He's that good.
That's for sure. I know that Marcelo can also do the same trick Adam was doing, the barrel flip in D3 over the gap, but I'm not sure if he's going to go for it right now.
Here we go, Marcelo coming in for the first hit.
Nice. Keeping it safe for the frontside 3. And he's going for my trick, actually, nollie heel flip Indy 540 on the quarter pipe.
He must hear you.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm not in the contest, so what, now you think it's okay to bite my trick?
Oh. That would be a good way to win, right?
Yeah. I've won like a few MiniMega contests with that trick, so.
There you go. That's the inside information.
He knows if I'd be up there, I would say something about it.
That's great. Rob getting ready to drop in lower fist with a 60.67.
Tail grab backside 360. Coming up short.
He didn't come in faking.
No.
Okay.
No. I don't know. Rob looks kind of like out of it. Like he doesn't really look like on top of his game. Like I don't know. It doesn't look like he's been skating too much. You know, it seems like he's had a couple rough years.
Well, you know, let's all root for this guy, Danny Mayer, getting ready to go in. As you mentioned it, he's fallen a couple times coming off the big fall in South Africa, so we want to see him hit a run.
Yep, yeah, for sure. I'm definitely cheering for Danny. You know, want to see him, you know, get that. Did he? No, I don't think he's gotten it yet.
Not yet, nope.
Not yet.
So
yeah,
here we go.
He's going for the quarter, 360 varial. There we go.
There we go.
Full pull for
All right.
Danny. That was actually a great run. That was a lot better than the, you know, backside method.
That's great, man. That's awesome for Danny Mayer. And Pierre told you the story about him getting hurt, and here he bounces back, and he'll get a much better score than that 21.33.
So yeah, that's definitely a great confidence booster for Danny Mayer.
Yeah, good for him. That's awesome. So Danny Mayer will get a 80, pardon me, they haven't put it in yet, so Taylor is at an 81.33, and Pierre?
Barrel flip in the 3.
Nice.
So barrel 5 on the court. No, like exactly like I said earlier, he's keeping it safe with the regular backside 5. So that's going to be real close with Andy's run because he's got a better trick than Andy over the gap, but Andy's got a better trick on the quarter pipe. Usually the quarter pipe's a lot harder to skate than the gap, so judges end up scoring higher if you do a better quarter pipe trick. So we'll see who gets the best score, but I'm not sure if that's going to take it. I think it'll be pretty close.
So Taylor, who's just gone in 81.33, McDonald. Do you ever take a look at the guy?
So 83, like I'm saying,
there you go.
know, they scored Andy higher because he got the best trick on the quarter pipe, and Adam played it safe on the quarter pipe. But Adam's trick is a million times harder than Andy's trick over the gap. So if Adam can step it up on the quarter pipe, I think he's gonna take the lead. So he just has to go for that barrel 5.
So Andy McDonald does not complete his run there, but still he has an 86.33. We go to our final skater in this run 4, and this is Ronaldo Gomez.
Actually, I'm pretty surprised that Adam played it safe on the quarter because that would have been a great strategy before Andy pulled the 720, not after.
Both skaters have 2 complete runs and 2
Frontside
high
180,
scores.
and he's going for the 720. A little bit slow, but I still don't think that would beat Andy's run because Andy still has a better trick over the gap.
Fallen except for his last run in which he got a 60.33. Our current leader right now is Andy McDonald, and then it's Adam Taylor in second place with an 83.67.
So UC's trying to go with a backside ollie 360. Backside ollie 3 is a pretty standard trick over mega ramp. It feels really good. The board sticks right under your feet if you know how to take off properly, because the wind actually pushes under your board and it really helps your board to stick to your feet.
Jimmy Wilkins getting ready to drop in, and I started to ask you, Pierre, do you ever look at the guy in front of you and then change your trick, that what he just did? You're like, oh.
I mean, I've seen Bob land the gnarliest run right in front of me, and I was just like, wow, I got to step it up, and then just making an adjustment right there on the spot and going for it and actually making it. And you know, sometimes when it's really spontaneous like that, it just ends up working out. Sometimes it doesn't, but it really, like, you know, fires you up to go for something crazy when you see someone landing like a great run right in front of you.
Again, I'm being joined today by Pierre-Luc Gagnon, PLG. He is hurt, but you will see him in the vert competition. And
so Nolan, backside 3. Come on, get it.
Here we go. Oh, just a little too far back in the back seat, as you say. And
he's having a rough one out there because he was doing great in practice yesterday. And I don't know if skating vert prelims before Mega Ram is throwing him off or something, because that should be pretty basic for Nolan.
Penarubia, he has the score of 78.33, and Italo will drop in right here. And I think
so yeah, if he can get a full pull with that kickflip still back 3, he's definitely going to be up there.
Yeah, you see a lot of guys leaning a little bit too far back right now, and why is that?
You know, sometimes, like, if the board's like if you're a little bit sketchy, it's hard to really commit for it. You know, it's just natural to like lean back because you're not 100% confident. So, and sometimes, you know, you end up overshooting and landing a little bit too far down the landing. So you're not, like, you know, on top of your front foot.
Marcelo will get the green light to go right here with a 75.33.
So we'll see if he's still going for the nollie heel flip Indy 3 on the quarter.
Your trick. Yeah.
So he's going for Adam's trick, a barrel flip Indy 3 over the gap, and couldn't quite make it. I mean, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of, like, doing the same trick as other people, especially in a MiniMega ramp contest like that. On vert, you end up doing a run with 12 tricks, so it's not that big of a deal if you do one trick that's the same as other people. But on MiniMega, it's only 2 tricks, so personally, I try to stay away from what other people are doing because I feel like skateboarding is about being unique, creative, bringing something new to the table, and that's how you really get rewarded by the judges. If you're doing the same thing or that someone else is doing, it's like we've already seen that. You know, you're not really bringing anything new to this event. You know, someone else has already done that before you, and you're never. Most of the time, you're not going to get a better score than the person who did it first.
Right.
So you're better off being original and creative and coming up with your own tricks.
Well, we've seen Danny Marilanda's last run, and that's the progression of the sport. You just mentioned what you were just doing in your dialogue. That's how the sport continues to progress.
Yeah, I mean, that's what skateboarding is all about. You know, there's no coaches or anything like that in skateboarding. That's why everyone, like some of the skaters have such different styles because it's just like it represents themselves and you know, the way they are. Some guys are kind of like careless. They just like to go big and go for it. Some guys are really are calculated and technical and stuff. Yeah. So it really represents your personality.
Adam Taylor, who's in second place right now with an 83.67, falls over the first hit. So we are in our 5th run here. They get a total of 6. Andy McDonald, your current leader, with an 86.33. Be interesting to see what he does here. Does he play
I'm not
safe?
too sure what he's going to go for. If I was Andy, I would try to go fakie cab and land fakie over the gap and then go for a 720. I think Andy should stick to 720 on the quarter, but just step up the level of the trick he does over the gap. But, you know, at this point he's in first place, so he's got nothing to lose.
Andy McDonald saying hello to, I assume, somebody at home.
So he's going for the 540 over the gap.
Here we go.
And he's going for a body barrel 5 on the quarter. To be honest, I don't know why he's wasting his time doing that run because I don't think that's better than the run he's already pulled. If I was him, I would definitely, I know he could probably do a kickflip 540 on the quarter, so I would really step it up to that level of trick. I don't think a body barrel 5 is anywhere near as hard as 720, so
right. So
it's pretty much a waste of a run.
Gomez getting ready to go in. He has a 78.33. You see the real leaders there, McDonald and Taylor, as Gomez goes.
So Gomez is going for the 7, same trick Andy's already done. Can't quite get the grab.
So here we go, Pierre. We go into the final runs of the competition.
Already?
Yeah, can you imagine that?
Yeah, right?
It seems a lot longer when you're out there skating
right?
like that. And this is UC Kohoran. And UC's had a pretty good competition, a 60.33. I know he would like to better that, though.
For sure. I think UC should try to do a 540 over on the quarter pipe if he manages to pull that frontside 3, which he didn't.
Hung up at the top and
he
short.
keeps going a little bit too slow. He needs to pump a little harder on the way down the rolling. So I think that's been his, you know, UC's issue for the whole contest. He keeps casing the top of the landing on all of his 360s.
Move right into Jimmy Wilkins once again.
So let's see if Jimmy can pull that kickflip lean air on the quarter pipe. That's a pretty stylish trick. He does it great on vert.
He does have a great style.
Yeah, Jimmy's got one of the best styles out there. He's, you know, one of my teammates. Oh, that was it. He got the grab, but just like he was doing earlier on the kickflip melons, he pulled out a little bit too far and couldn't quite stay on.
We'll see him a little bit later on in the competition in vert. Jimmy Wilkins.
Yeah.
Nolan Monroe getting ready to go in. And Nolan hasn't landed both ramps yet, so let's
I'm
hope.
surprised.
Yeah. Does he play it safer or does he just go all out?
I think that should be a safe run for him, you know, like that's a giant 540, but I'm so surprised that he hasn't made it, that he bailed that trick 6 times in a row. I think, I don't know, I think skating vert earlier today really threw him off because he did 3 in a row right in front of me yesterday when I was shooting photos on the quarter pipe.
And he's walking a little gingerly coming off the ramp.
I'd definitely be pretty disappointed if I was in this position.
Italo Penarubia, he's fallen a couple times, but he has a 78.33. He is in 3rd place right now.
So yeah, I hope he really pulls that kickflip still 360.
Could change things up right here.
For sure. Perfect grab. Oh, staying on.
There it is. Oh my God. He had it.
That was definitely a pretty wild landing, but he was almost there.
Skateboard X MiniMega final. And Marcelo Bastos will get ready to go in.
Yeah, I can tell Italo was pretty disappointed because he came so close, landing on his board probably like, I'd say 5 times, and couldn't quite pull the full pull.
$75.33 Marcelo getting ready to drop in on his final run of the competition here in Shanghai, China.
Keeping it safe for the Indy 3, and then going for the barrel flip Indy 5 on the quarter pipe. He's been winning best trick contests on vert with this trick, but you know, it's definitely different on MiniMega ramp. There's a lot more speed, and you know, it takes a while to get used to it. I think the rain's really affected some of these riders because they weren't able to get that much practice. It's been raining a lot all week, and these guys have only like practiced for a couple hours before the contest. So it really comes down to some of the guys that have more experience on MiniMega ramp, like Andy Mack and Adam Taylor. These guys have been skating MiniMega ramp for years, to where, you know, Marcelo and Jimmy and those guys, they're really new to this.
Orphis will go for his final run, a little speed wobble.
Got it. Heel flip frontsider.
There he goes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
How about it? Nails it on his final run.
I'm really happy for Rob because he really needed that. You know, yeah, he had a tough time this morning in the vert prelims, and yeah, that was a great run for Rob Lorfis.
Good for him. And always nice to see you land it on your last run.
That was real cool.
So he'll definitely get a better run than 60.67.
Definitely.
So Mara is getting ready to go.
So Danny already has a 360 barrel on the quarter pipe. I wonder if he's going to go for a 540 or something like that, or if he's satisfied with that. But you know, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's just great to see him skate.
Yep, that's right.
He was going for a kickflip 360 over the gap, and couldn't quite do that.
Adam Taylor. Now this is the one guy that could change things up.
Yeah. So if Adam can get that full pull with a barrel flip in E3 over the gap, and then step it up to barrel 5 on the quarter pipe instead of the regular backside 5, I think he could definitely take the lead with that run.
Adam Taylor with an 83.67. Here we go. He's chasing Andy McDonald, but we still have Gomez. Oh, okay. So the only guy that can defeat Andy McDonald for the gold medal would be Ronaldo Gomez, and he is our final skater to go. But before that, Andy's got an opportunity to increase his score. He knows now there's one other guy that could get a better score.
But I would be really surprised to see Ronnie Gomez, you know, beat Andy's score. I think Ronnie could definitely get up there in the top 3. You know, possibly beat Adam Taylor, but he would have to do a better trick over the gap to beat Andy's run.
Andy McDonald, here we go. The current leader, 86.33.
So Andy was going for the fakie 5, which he's done in the previous run. And I think he's probably going to try to step it up on the quarter pipe, but yeah, it didn't quite work out for him.
So Andy McDonald hopes that Ronaldo Gomez will not improve on his 78.33. He can improve on it, but just not improve too much.
I mean, let's see, but he needs to step it up over the gap if he wants to take the lead. I think the plain 180 is not going to cut it.
So Ronaldo knows that he is the final skater to go, and Andy Mack with that 86.33.
What place is Ronnie in right now?
He is in second.
Second?
No, wait, no, I don't actually.
Adam's in second place.
Yeah,
Adam's in second place.
He is in the bubble right around 3rd.
I think he's in 4th because Italo's in 3rd place, I would say.
All the scores
so
are
backside ollie 3.
Here we go.
To a tailgraph 5. I mean, that's a great run, but I definitely don't think it's going to beat Adam or Andy's run. So he might be up there and might bump it up to the top 3, but definitely not into the top 2 spots.
Be interesting to see how it all breaks down as
Definitely.
they'll do the final tabulation right now. We know for sure that Andy McDonald has won the gold medal, but nothing is confirmed yet for the silver and bronze. As you can see, the venue area of the athletes, the camaraderie of these guys, and Pierre, you have done this for years, and there is a tiebreaker for the 3rd place that we are getting, and we will have all that for you in just a second.
So the tiebreaker in between Ronnie Gomez and Italo for 3rd place, right?
Yep, that's what we have. So they'll go back in and look at their scores on what they did previously. So a fall here or there could prove to be a big difference.
Do you know if they're breaking the tiebreaker with a 2nd run, or or they're going to go to all 5 judges?
I think it's going to be the 2nd highest score.
Second highest score?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And that's that's a tough one. There's Annie Mac, your gold medalist.
Yeah.
Once again, I lost count on how many times he's won in Shanghai, China, but it's been more than a few times.
For sure.
And there is Gomez on the ground, and
So Ronnie seems pretty disappointed, but I don't really see why, because he had a great last run, and you know, I'm sure he wanted that 720, but you know, he decided to play it safe on that last run, and you know, sometimes you either have to live with that or go for it.
well, he again comes up with 3rd, and Andy McDonald, as we mentioned,
Nice.
is the gold medalist. Adam Taylor in 2nd with the silver, and the Brazilian Ronaldo Gomez with the bronze. So that's how it wraps up here at the Skateboard X Mini Mega Final. How about that? And of course, Andy McDonald's got to be thrilled, and plenty of exciting moments here at the Shanghai Kia World Extreme Games, especially in the Skateboard Mini Mega Ramp. As the fans continue to gather, and they will go from one venue to the next here in Shanghai, China, as we get set for much more action. The lights have actually come on here in Shanghai at the stadium. And Andy McDonald with the gold medal here on the Skateboard X Mini Mega Final. And it's a Skateboard Mini Mega Final. We were talking about Andy going into this competition as maybe the odds-on favorite, and I think Pierre-Luc said it best. He says, you know, they didn't get the practice that they normally get because of the weather. And of course, if you have skated on ramps like this consistently in contests over the years, you have the advantage, and
For sure.
pretty much that advantage came down to
I mean,
Andy.
Andy's got a lot of experience. He's super consistent. A lot of these guys had a hard time getting full pulls on and landing their hard tricks because they didn't get much practice. And so Andy's experience and consistency really did it today.
Here is the Kia World Extreme Games Kia Moment of the Day, and it's Andy McDonald with an 86.33 on a run that happened in his run number 4. That was the winning moment for Andy McDonald in our Kia Moment of the Day.